therapist in private practice in Sacramento. I'm very excited today to bring you Nancy Williams and Janice Massie, multifaceted women who are currently serving Sacramento's children as advocates in the schools. We are so fortunate to have two compassionate people who are working to develop a program that reaches out to people who are struggling to keep their children in school. For those of you who are with us for the first time, Action Callers is committed to bringing change makers, people who have seen problems to be solved in our communities and have taken action to alleviate these problems. These change makers come in on this program to coach others to take steps to make an impact on issues that bother them. Please share your concern, complaint, or idea with me and the change makers on this show. You will find out that you're not alone. We will support you in taking that step that has the possibility of turning your complaint into an action that might impact that problem. I urge you to call us right now and share your ideas and concerns with today's changemakers, Nancy Williams, Janice Massie, and me, Reva Camiel. Again, call us at 916-456-5199. Call us with projects that you are excited about. You can be part of the solution rather than being part of the problem. We, our changemaker guests, our listeners, and myself will be your team for supporting you and taking your first step to turn your complaint into results. We may be talking about child advocacy with our guests today, but remember, you can call us with whatever issue that you're concerned with, and we will change our topic to work with you to take your complaint or idea to a possible result. So call us at 916-456-5199. Nancy, will you please tell us a little about yourself and how you became involved in child advocacy?
Hello, Reba. Thank you for having us today. I became involved in child advocacy because I have a son who is now 13, and he was a special needs kid ever since kindergarten.
What kind of kid was he? I'm sorry,
Well, we refer to him as special needs kid.
Uh-huh.
He started acting out in kindergarten and, did such various things as, threatening other students with things and running away from the class. He wouldn't sit still. And, I would get calls from the school, come and get your boy, every other day. And it pretty much, disrupted a normal life. You couldn't have called it normal because of the interruptions.
Wasn't easy, was it?
No, not at all.
And now you're working to help other people with their children and advocating for them?
Yes, we try.
And now how long have you been doing that?
Just since last October.
Great.
Actually, September.
September. Well, great. So you're new to this project. And let me just introduce our other guest and co-worker of yours, Janice Massie. Janice, you want to kind of fill us in on how you got involved in this project or what interested you in having this job?
Hi, thanks, Reva, for asking us to come. I, too, am a parent of two special needs children. Both of them have a mental health diagnosis, but it was a long road before we even got there. There was a lot of blame and a lot of finger-pointing before we ever came to realizing that my children actually had a health problem.
Mm-hmm. How old were your children when you first really noticed they had a problem like that?
My first clash with the school system was in kindergarten. My son couldn't stay focused. He couldn't pay attention. He couldn't sit still. And he had a lot of difficulty taking direction from the teacher. And then in first grade, we had a lot of difficulty. He had problems dealing socially with the other kids. And she had to place him in a special place in the class. We tried lots of interventions to try to keep him there. And
in the regular classroom?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
like what? What were some of the things that they tried?
Well, we tried him facing the class, and then we tried him to the side of the class, and the back of the class, and the front of the class.
So the teachers were really supportive of
Yes.
trying out different things that might work.
They were, and we tried giving him different kinds of, just a different approach with him, where she would just take more time with him, and he really just couldn't handle staying in a class with so many different children.
So your own child made it something that you became very interested in. And did you get some help? Was there any advocates for you when you needed one?
Well, what happened with me was my son, I took my son to a child psychiatrist, and he placed him on Ritalin at the time.
Thought he was attention deficit disorder?
Yes. And it worked for a while. The Ritalin worked, but then it stopped working. And my son became, he acted out more than ever. So the psychiatrist recommended a stay in our local psychiatric hospital so that they could keep him in a safe place while they tested out different psychiatric medications for him.
That must have been scary for him and
it was
horrendous
horrifying.
for you.
Yeah, it was. It was really horrifying. And during the stay in the hospital, I met they have a school teacher there, and she was absolutely wonderful. She was very supportive, and she became my advocate.
Okay, so that was great. So you found an advocate. That wasn't necessarily her job, or
No, not at all.
And when you say an advocate, what is that? Somebody who goes to the powers that be, or
Well, no, I think that an advocate is somebody who speaks out for a cause. And she knew what my son needed, and my son needed an individual educational plan, which is a contract with the state of California over your child's educational needs. We call it an IEP.
Great. So some of the listeners may need to hear about an IEP because that might be the thing that they might need for their child. So give us a call because you have the people with the answers to that who have gone through what you've gone through or going through, or you know somebody that's going through, and give us a call at 916-456-5199. And it looks like our friend Nancy here, Nancy Williams why don't you, Nancy, maybe give us the name of the project that you're working on and the agency that you're working for, and maybe the people that people could call.
Okay, well, both Janice Massie and I, Nancy Williams, we work for the SAFE program, Sacramento Advocacy for Family Empowerment, which stands for SAFE. That's our acronym. We get referrals from counseling centers and juvenile justice and schools, and we'd like for you to call us if you have any questions.
Yeah, how are you getting that word out? How could people find out? What is your phone number? Why don't you give that right now?
My phone number is 875-916 area code.
Okay, one more time.
Of course.
Say it slowly.
875-4132. Excuse me, 4182. And then 875-4181.
And that's Janice's number?
Yeah, that's Janice and our main number, where you can get directed to someone to talk to.
Okay, so that's a number that you could go to. And how is the word getting out into the communities? Do the schools have parents come to you? Or
but when you have a child like this, you really don't know what to do at first, because I believe that most children don't start acting out until they get into a structured situation such as a daycare or preschool or kindergarten. And then when they're supposed to be a certain way, act a certain way, they don't want to. And a lot of this is a mental illness, and it's real hard because of the stigmatism that mental illness has, especially with children, that it's wrong and it's a moral issue, because it's not. It is a physical ailment, and it can be treated.
I mean, they're not just bad people?
No.
or bad seed?
Janice and I know that it's not just because they're brats. That's for sure. Everybody said he just needs a spanking, but no, that's not
Spanking
true.
doesn't work real well.
Oh no, definitely not. He must be very creative with these kind of children, and it's extremely difficult. And I don't even feel that I could explain what we go through at home. But the school is kind of what triggers the knowledge going.
Okay, and did you have something that came up for you, Janice, when you were hearing Nancy talking about this problems at home and being called names maybe by neighbors or people down the street or people in the school?
Well, certainly. Most people don't understand when they see a child that is acting out that he or she could possibly have a mental illness. They think what they see is a spoiled, rotten little brat, and you're standing in a grocery store and your child is hopping all over the place and climbing things and swinging off things, and they look at you and they say, well, why can't you control that child?
Mm-hmm.
And
Pretty embarrassing, isn't it?
well, you come to a point where you come to acceptance, because if you don't, then your child gets that same feeling of discouragement and labeling of a bad child from you too. And I won't do that to my child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gets enough from it out in the community.
Yeah, I support my children.
Mm-hmm. Now, the first thing you had mentioned, one person, I think it was Nancy, mentioned attention deficit disorder. Is that the only mental? I usually call it a disorder, but you were mentioning mental illnesses. What other type of mental illnesses come under your advocacy?
Oh, a lot of the children and families that we work with, the children have bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, oppositional defiant.
So an oppositional defiant kid would, if you saw one like that, if you thought you had an oppositional kid, how would you know it? What would be some of the signs?
Well, usually that comes about as a result of your child receiving so much negativity all of his life.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to where he's tired of hearing no all the time, and he can't help but want to be his own self.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I guess that's about that.
Mm-hmm.
We do our SAFE program. We do a lot more than just schools, though.
Mm-hmm.
Do
you?
Yes.
Yeah. What are those?
I wrote a little thing down because I knew I would be totally frozen when I got here.
Are you?
It's hard.
Uh-huh.
And so
Okay. Before you go with that, I've been suggested that we give you our phone number again so you can call, and after Janice finishes talking, we can talk about what you're calling about. 456-5199, area code 916.
all right. Our SAFE program is designed by family members and youth to provide a system of support, education, empowerment, and advocacy to youth and their families that are involved with mental health and other county agencies that serve children, which is pretty much how they come to us. They go through schools or county agencies. The SAFE program promotes and encourages a children's system of care that is strength-based, family-focused, and culturally relevant. We encourage innovative programming to increase options and promote the integration of services. Our advocates work directly with parents and youth to help them to learn to navigate the system, provide emotional peer-to-peer support, and to give information to help families advocate for themselves. We also publish a quarterly newsletter called The Family Times, and we have a bi-monthly support group called Family Night Out.
Okay, so can somebody get a family news sent to them, and what do they need to do in order to get those pieces of information?
Call our phone number, 875-4182, and Eva, who is our clerk, can help out with that, and get on our interested parent mailing list. They can come to our support groups.
When are those?
That's the second and fourth Wednesday of the month, and it's held at the Sacramento Mental Health Treatment Center on 2130 Stockton Boulevard from 6 to 8 p.m.
Where's that near? Where is that? 2130 kind of, what are some of the cross streets?
It's kind of kitty corner from UCD, and it's T Street's not too far from it. Kind of dead ends right there on Stockton Boulevard.
Okay.
Yeah, and the first informational forum, the Family Night Out of the month, is an informational forum where we have speakers come to talk about topics of interest to special needs parents. And then the second Family Night Out is our support group, where we come and help each other.
Okay, so is it mainly the parents that come to it, not the children?
We do have a play group for the children, and they really have a great time.
What are their ages that you can bring the kids to the play group?
Well, we try not to turn any children away, but we do have a limit of 10. Because we only have so many people that can take care of the kids. And
so do people need to make reservations
definitely,
for the 10 kids? So
yes.
They give the number again
and
that they should call to make a reservation?
If they're interested in coming, for Family Night Out, definitely call 875-4182.
Good. Because each time I think our listeners hear of something that's special that you're doing that they didn't know you did, they're going to almost want your number. So they may not have written it down the first time. So that's why I encourage you to give it each time. Thanks.
We also are involved in an organization called FRAT, which is the Family Resource Advisory Team. Youth and families represent their perspectives by attending different committees to develop new programs, develop policy, and provide oversight to different service delivery here in the county.
So you mean parents can come in and give some of their ideas and things that they think you can do, or your
Absolutely.
Agencies?
In fact, we're recruiting for new FRAT members now.
Okay, so a FRAT member again is what?
Well, we pretty much serve as an advisory committee at the county level.
Okay, so any of you who want to take an action by being on this special committee that's making recommendations to the county, this is a good place to get your ideas going and some of the creative ideas that you might have. I know as a mother many years ago, when my kids were little, I got very interested in autistic children, and I didn't have an autistic child, but I had seen some of them over at the state hospital. And I thought, my goodness, what they need are some nice people coming over and just being friendly with them, and put together a group of people, including my mother, who used to drive about an hour and a half every Wednesday or something like that to go out to the psychiatric hospital. And so give us a call if you want to be involved, you want to have an idea. Maybe you can give an idea to Janice or Nancy right now that they can take back to their committee. So give us a call at 916-456-5199. We can make a difference, each of us. And so we're going to take a break right now and be back in just a few minutes. And so I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you who are listening out there.
Sacramento's Community Radio, The Voice.
Italian is the language of music. Classical, jazz, rock, or pop are all annotated with words like allegro, legato, and adagio. There's a reason for that. Italy is music's mother lode. If you're in the mood for the great sounds of Italy and Italian America, your only source is Sacramento Italian Style, with the Radio Paisani, Phyllis Cuparo, Joe D'Ambrosio, and me, Bob Mazzullo.
Tune in Sunday afternoons at 2 p.m. on The Voice. Hello, Sacramento. This is Todd Michaels. Join me right here on Sunday nights at 6 for a look back at all the radio hits we grew up with. From 75 to 95, it's The Vault, the biggest collection of pop hits anywhere around. I'll spin yesterday today, plus report facts and features about the recording acts who made the top 40, and read letters from you. That's The Vault, Sunday nights at 6, right here on 91.5 The Voice and Cable FM 88.7. That's Sunday nights at 6, The Vault. I'll talk to you then.
Jason died in a car accident on April 3rd, 95. I thought right away about donating his organs. He said to me, "Mom, if anything ever happened to me, you should donate all my organs."
Share your decision to become an organ and tissue donor with your family today.
I feel very happy that he decided this.
Organ and tissue donation. Share your life. Share your decision. Call 1-800-355-SHARE for a free brochure. A message from the Advertising Council and the Coalition on Donation.
Do you have dreams?
Do you have goals?
Everyone does.
No matter what race or color they are.
Talk to each other.
Listen to each other.
Sure, we're all different.
But we're also all the same.
Understand the similarities.
Respect the differences.
Help end prejudice in your lifetime. Call 1-800-934-3430 or log on to www.whitehouse.gov. Together we can build one America in the 21st century. Brought to you by the President's Initiative on Race, the Leadership Conference Education Fund, and the Ad Council.
It began in 1986. In 1988, Access Sacramento brought you round-the-clock community radio. In 1997, Sacramento's voice is heard worldwide on the Internet. In May of 1998, Access Sacramento expands the community voice again. Stay tuned as we usher in a new era in Sacramento radio. Access Sacramento and The Voice, Sacramento's community cable radio, Internet, and something more. You are tuned to the Voice of Sacramento, the community-use cable radio station where you create and produce your own radio programs. Access Sacramento empowers Sacramento County residents through technical training and assistance. Visit us at the Coloma Community Center at 4623 T Street, Sacramento, California. Funds for the operation of this channel are provided in part by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Questions or comments may be addressed to the Commission at 828 I Street, Sacramento, California, 95814. Reach the Commission by telephone at area code 916-440-6661. This is The Voice.
Okay, we're back on Action Callers, and we have our two guests today, Nancy Williams and Janice Massie from the SAFE program from the county, a program that does advocacy for children who are having trouble not only in school, but maybe at home or in the community in some kind of way.
Definitely at home.
Pardon? What were you saying?
I said definitely at home.
Definitely at home. Do you tell us what you do to help people at home? How do you help the parents?
Well, I may have a little example here. Today, we started helping a family 2 weeks ago, and they got our information of the SAFE program from the Neighborhood Alternative Center.
And what is the Neighborhood Alternative Center?
Well, it's a place where you take a child, maybe that's a little older, and when you need help with a child.
What's a little older?
Well, I believe they don't serve, I'm not positive, but I believe they serve like teens and, 10 and up or so. Is that what you said?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the Neighborhood Alternative Center, it's provided by the Sacramento County Probation Department. But anyway, we got the referral for a young man, and he was hospitalized, and the family came, the mother and father came to our family night out last Wednesday, and they really enjoyed it, and they seemed to really enjoy it. There was a lot of questions answered, and today what I did was I asked them if they wanted me to come with them for support with an appointment with the psychiatrist and psychologist, and so I met them where their son is hospitalized in a psychiatric hospital. And put in, some different ideas about, boy, I'm lost for words. Mm-hmm. He was being released today, and
through your help?
No,
oh.
No. It was pretty much his last day, and the hospital had basically done all they could do for him, and they needed to have a outpatient order for a come home type order, and with the medication and the school, and the mother did finally get a date for an IEP, and you need to, if you want an IEP for your child, if they're acting out in class, you need to write a letter that you want an IEP and give it to the school, and they have up to 50 days to respond. Right, Janice?
Well, the timeline for an IEP is pretty odd. You need to
Everything is kind of odd.
you need to request it in writing to your local school, and then they have 10 days to respond with an assessment. Yes, and what assessments they feel are necessary. Then you have 15 days to respond by agreeing and signing it, or disagreeing and working it out. And then they have 50 days with which to assess your child and hold an IEP.
Okay, so by assessing their child, what goes into that process?
Oh, they assess him scholastically, psychologically, speech and language, and any other thing that they may suspect.
Are all the schools open to doing an IEP? And is that easy to get an IEP?
Well...
Or is that one of the things that you do some advocacy for?
That's where we do a lot of advocacy. It's I don't know why, but these schools aren't liberal in handing out the IEP information.
I wonder why that is. What do you think is one of the reasons these schools don't just volunteer that to somebody whose kid is causing troubles all the time, and they see they have problems in sitting still or following instructions, or they're always hitting somebody? Why don't they figure that out for themselves and give you a call or get the IEP going?
I think it's because it's like anything, it involves change. And
is this real new?
No. IEPs have been around for a long time.
How long? About how long?
God, I really don't know the answer to that.
But it's been around for a while, and so what cost them more money than they want to spend? Is that money an issue?
Even less than that. For instance, if your child isn't accepted into special education, for instance, you can always ask for a 504 assessment, and what those are accommodations so that your child can stay in regular school, and those are basically just ordinary things you can do in the classroom.
Like what? What are some of the ordinary things a teacher could think of doing?
Like a lot of times, you can assign the child a buddy, for instance, to help them with paperwork or staying focused, or
maybe have their desk facing a wall instead of being distracted,
mm-hmm.
and that kind of thing.
There are sometimes like children are like in a wheelchair, for instance, and they place them closer to the door, and they have a buddy that helps them with their crutches or anything like that.
Okay, so this is something parents need to be aware of. If you've been getting a lot of notices from the schools about your kid not behaving well, and you have some questions about how to get an IEP, give us a call here at 916-456-5199. I know there are a lot of you out there, and you may even be a kid that's listening, and you know that something's wrong and you haven't been taken care of. Write down this number, 916-456-5199, and give your mother that message, and have her give me a call, and I'll help to get you to Nancy and to Janice. So kids, you sometimes know as much as your parents do about what's going on inside of you.
The Voice is 88.7 Cable FM and KYDS 91.5 FM Sacramento.
And now we're back after the break, and here's, go ahead.
I do want to plug our youth advocacy. I do want to plug our youth advocacy program.
Good.
We are the only county in California that has youth advocates. Rebecca Hawkins and Danielle Sterneman. They're both youth that have been through the mental health system, and they have so much to offer youth today. They provide individual advocacy and excuse me, and mentoring to other youth in the system. They also do self-help support groups for teens.
So these are two kids that who are advocating for other kids?
Well, they're young adults.
They're
now.
young adults
yes,
now?
Yes. For instance, they have two different youth groups they're working on. The 12 to 15 age youth group. And this April the 4th, their topic is having fun. And then on April the 18th, their topic is dealing with peer pressure. And in the 16 to 21 age youth group, on April the 4th, they will be talking about building positive self-esteem. And then on April the 18th, they'll be talking about maintaining mental health.
Okay, so if they want to get a flyer on those dates, what number should they call?
Once again, they can call Rebecca or Danielle directly. Their number is 875-4951.
Okay, one more time.
875-4951. And they have an email site, as a matter of fact, which is www.youthadvocate, kind of a, I guess that's a
sign. Call an @ sign? No?
No, it's an underline, but it's a lower.
Underline.
2000 at yahoo.com. I hope you got that. If not, call that number and they'll give you the website.
Great, and I think Nancy has something that she'd like to share with us.
Or you can call the station at 456-5199.
Oh,
and,
thanks there, Nancy.
Yeah, and get information about our program and ask questions. And what I was talking about is what I went with the parents to the doctor appointment, and I supported them and asked them questions maybe they might not have thought of about their child. And we're waiting on an IEP for this child, and it's a week till the IEP, so it's like, what are we going to do with this child at home for a week? So we have a plan with the behavior and, strategies and tools that they can use to help the child and the family get along better until services can start.
Yeah, there's some good books out on behavior, different kinds of behavior modification techniques that parents can use. I think, is it Hollowell that has it? Who am I thinking of? But anyway, you could give me a call and I can get out my bibliography. And not right now, I don't have it here with me, but you give me a call, leave a message, and let me know. And you can email me at actioncallers at hotmail.com. So I thought that was a pretty good name. Action Callers at, what did I just say? Hotmail.com. So you can write to me, and they have you can tell them, go ahead, just interrupt and go ahead and say it, Nancy.
I'm known to interrupt.
Are you ADD?
I'll never tell. We also have a library at our site where we work, and there is lots of tapes that you can check out as families for free, and books, and we just have so much to offer, and we're here. We're here for parents that are hurting, and I know there's the tendency when you have a child or two children or three or whatever is to isolate because you think you're different, and you just you could be embarrassed and have a lot of shame and guilt and feel like it's your fault and what did you do wrong. So I'm just here to tell you that it's not it's not your parenting, it's not a moral issue. Your child has an illness usually, and it's good to look into that part of it to help the child to get along in the system that we live in.
And so let me ask you this: do you need any volunteers over at your office? And is there some use for volunteers where people can kind of hang around you guys and even learn more and help out other people?
Well, we really are recruiting is our frat team.
Mm-hmm.
We are really encouraging parents to get involved.
So how much involvement would that mean if they became part of your frat team? How many days a week? How many hours? What are they volunteering for?
Frat is it's a meeting once a month, the last Monday of the month, from 6 to 7:30. That's pretty much the minimum commitment. But they can get involved in different committees and panels and all kinds of things that we do. Like, for instance, at our last meeting, we had a gentleman come from the state of California, and he brought a brochure that they were developing, and he asked us what we thought about it, and we critiqued it for him, We helped him critique it and gave I think a lot of interesting feedback to him. There was part of it that was totally unclear to us, and so hopefully we helped.
And where was he going to put this brochure?
It's for the State of California Healthy Families program for the mental health aspect for children.
Oh, good. There's also the Mental Health Association here in Sacramento that can be helpful. And I'd like to give you the phone number where you can call us. We're looking forward to hearing from you if you're out there, 456-5199. And give us a call. And go ahead. Yes.
We are contracted through the Mental Health Association.
Are you?
Yes. And we represent the Sacramento County Division of Mental Health.
So are you county work? You work for the county?
No, we're contracted by the county through the Mental Health Association, and we actually represent the county.
So it's funded under some kind of a grant or something through the Mental Health Association. How do you get paid?
It's through we're funded through the Children's System of Care. It's dollars the county receives well, that's a whole thing into itself.
All that complicated bureaucracy. But finally, there's a really good program that's really reaching out to parents and to the kids who need that special help. I know I have several clients who have kids who need help, and I didn't know, but they ended up finding you as an advocate through the CHAD organization, I believe. And I know that client is very happy to have found somebody who is there for them and supporting them, in the trenches. And in the trenches, are when you have to talk to somebody who doesn't necessarily agree with you. And here you've been suffering a lot with a kid who's been making you a little bit crazy, and the system making you a little bit crazy. So it's good to have somebody who can be a neutral third party who has the information about the new laws and what has to be done and can put the pressure on. So I think it's very important, the job you're doing. How many of you are there that are doing a child advocacy?
Actually, we're called family advocates and youth advocates. And we represent them in that order. Nancy and I are family advocates, and we represent the family as a whole. We primarily do work with the parents, but we also work with the children, and then we do have youth advocates.
And youth advocates would be somebody who work with teenagers?
They primarily work with youth in the system, yes.
By youth, you mean older than children? You mean, like
children too. Yes.
What is youth everything youth, or is it youth up to a certain age, up from a certain age, or in the children?
Up to 21, yes.
Up to 21.
Yes.
So, yeah, Nancy.
Actually, family advocacy is basically it's not just the county. Different agencies have their own family advocates. Like, for instance, River Oaks has, I think, 2 family advocates. And
what's River Oaks?
It's a school, and they also have group homes for special needs kids.
And so it's a private agency?
Yes, my son was there for a while in his
heyday
school. Well, I don't like to call it that. I hope he's not listening, but yeah, so to speak. So family advocacy it's not just us, and it can be kind of confusing. So I feel, if you call, you can get some straight answers.
Great. So we're going to take a break.
Sacramento, the voice is your radio station. Hello, Dave Carr for Radio DX to tell you about this show, which airs live Monday, 6 to 8 in the evenings, and a replay Tuesday mornings from 6 to 8 a.m. here on KYDS 91.5 and Cable FM 88.7, the voice of Sacramento. So join me for music and Lord knows what else. And check out the website, www.w3dj.com/radiodx. Check it out, would you?
Hello, this is Mike Matthews, host of the Opinions Program. Are you looking for a talk show that is not afraid to discuss taboo topics and controversial issues? Would you like to have your opinion heard? Then tune in and call in to the Opinions program right here on The Voice, Monday evenings from 8 until 10 p.m. and Tuesday mornings from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m., where I'll bring education and aggravation to the airwaves.
Why is it we never hear about the good things kids do?
Stories. 2 teenagers are accused of drug-related...
The newspaper reports show that 65% of adults have a negative opinion of teenagers. A shootout downtown leaves 4 teenagers dead today.
It's time for teenagers to get noticed for doing something right. Get involved in crime prevention in your community. Tutor, mentor, volunteer. And let's start proving everybody wrong by doing something right. Call 1-800-722-TEENS.
A public service message brought to you from the Crime Prevention Coalition of America, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the Ad Council.
Here's the throw to third. Williams with the tag. O'Neal's safe.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah?
Do you remember when we were talking about raising academic standards in our kids' schools?
Yeah.
Well, I called and I got this booklet. It's got a lot of helpful information in it. Here.
Hey, thanks, man.
If education is important to you, talk to your child's school about raising academic standards. Call 1-800-3823-SMART for a free booklet and be a big league parent.
Hey, I'll see you.
Hey, Paul, that's the wrong way.
I know, but I forgot to drop one off at second base.
Brought to you by the Education Excellence Partnership and the Ad Council.
You are tuned to the Voice of Sacramento, cable FM 88.7, and on the air at FM 91.5. This program is produced through the use of facilities and services of Access Sacramento. We're located in the Coloma Community Center at 4623 P Street, Sacramento, California. Reach us by telephone at area code 916-456-8600 or visit our website at www.sacramento.org. Local community broadcasting from Sacramento's Voice and Access Sacramento, making a difference one voice at a time. Now you can listen longer. Access Sacramento expands its worldwide internet service. Point your web browser to www.sacramento.org. Access our real audio feed now from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday Pacific Coast time. Brought to you in part by Sacramento Network Access and the Access Sacramento Media Lab. For more information, call area code 916-456-8600. Internet radio from Access Sacramento, making a difference one voice at a time.
For a different listening experience, 88.7 Cable FM, KYDS 91.5, the voice you need to hear.
Okay, we're back on Action Callers, and I have with me today Nancy Williams and Janice Massie from the SAFE program, which is a child and youth advocacy, family advocacy program. And they're very anxious and would love to hear from you so that they could give some of the information that you need and you want and problems that you might be having with your children or a neighbor. You might have a neighbor who has a child who is getting a little Dennis the Menace next door that may have a mental illness that may need some support. So please give us a call at 916-456-5199, and we will support you in whatever way we can. And if we don't know how, we'll find out how to get you support. We can always get back to you by email or call you, and we really do look forward to hearing from you. So, this whole advocacy thing is sounds like you've been through the jungles of this kind of thing both as a parent and now you're in the system and working things out all the time. Maybe there are other people out there that would like to become an advocate. What are the kinds of skills that they need to be an advocate? And where might they even find a job like you got?
Well, this is Nancy. I can honestly say that I was definitely not ready to be an advocate for anyone else. I was my son's best advocate for all those years and still am. But there's a lot of anger.
Too, to learn how to be an advocate for your own child.
It very much is. And, you feel so angry. And, a lot of parents I have found that they have a tendency to lash out at the system and that isn't the way that things get done. But I even had to learn that too. And
how do you get things done with the system? What are some tools that you could put out there?
Well, basically, the system will work with you. I feel I didn't have any problem. The people that represented my school district were wonderful, and I think everyone was just as patient as they could possibly have been. And there are special schools for kids like these, so where you don't get called for them to come home, and they can learn, and they can learn to behave, and there is hope. And a lot of times when you have a child like this, you just feel hopeless a lot of times, and things get good, and you say, oh, this is great, things are getting better. Then all of a sudden it happens again, and there's another blowout, or something happens with medication, or it's just it's kind of a merry-go-round of rage. And I just wanted to point that out about advocacy. You really need to take care of yourself, and not only know about the system, but
go on vacation, take some time to taking a bath, nice.
Well, yeah, well, of course, but
no, but I mean like a bubble bath. Or where you really take care of yourself.
Well, I would suggest that to any mom too, if she can find time of any children, basically, to take a bubble bath.
I have a question for you. Hillary Clinton came out with a statement about a week and a half ago, saying that Ritalin is overused and kids under 4 shouldn't be taking it, and it's being overprescribed. And she, what's your take on what she did, and is there anything that we can do about educating her, or is she right?
I do believe she's right. I think Ritalin really is overprescribed. I think it's sort of the blanket miracle drug. However, it does work for some children. If your child is ADD or ADHD, the truth is that Ritalin helps, and it helps with their attention span. It helps with their focus. It just helps them control themselves better.
And I believe that the system has gotten to the point where it's like, drug the kid, keep him in the class. And that's why Janice pointed out that she felt that it is overprescribed.
Absolutely.
But then again, how would you find out the difference if it wasn't prescribed?
Yeah, it's
leave it up to the doctor.
Yeah, it's not an easy issue to tackle, definitely. But I think there are other alternatives. I think that a child can be tested for allergies. Or sensitivities to artificial dyes, perfumes, certain foods, can trigger people to act in these same ways.
Yeah, I had a couple of kids I was working with, and they were brought in because the little boy was hyperactive. And in talking to the children as a family therapist alone, each child told me how much the mother was kicking them, hitting them, knocking their heads together, and doing all kinds of very hurtful, both physically and emotionally. And this kid the kids were really acting out and being very hyperactive. There probably is some hyperactivity with them, but what she was doing, she thought she was doing a good job, and she was being a good mother by trying to make her kids obedient. And out of her culture that she came from, that was probably a learned behavior on her part. But she has learned some new ways. She's taken some parenting classes. The children have had some individual counseling, and we've had family counseling where they can talk over their problems. And things have gotten a lot better. I've seen them now over a long period of time.
Well, I believe that in the case, if you have a child with a mental illness such as Janice and I did, there really wasn't a whole lot of parenting classes out there to deal with children like we have. I did find, at the schools that my son attended, they had excellent resources for parenting. But no one knows what it's like to parent a child like this. But if you have a child like this, that's just the way it is. And or a child, if you're a grandmother or aunt.
Oh, it must be the daughter-in-law's.
Well,
thing.
if you're part of the family, your family either disowns you, or they have sympathy for you, or they'll want to help you, or it's just everyone's different.
Mhm.
Every family has its own dynamics, but I feel that as parents we tend to raise our kids just about the way we were raised, unless if we learn differently. That something may have been wrong with the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, well, you just don't know until, something happens a lot of times, too.
Get a lot of empathy and
Right.
a lot more humanity in your system when you've gone through something like this, don't you?
Yeah, a lot of compassion,
A lot
too.
of compassion.
Yeah. And
for other
it's hard
parents.
sometimes not to cry right along with the moms. And,
No, what's wrong with even crying along with Mom?
Well, I shouldn't have said it like that, but, I mean, I'm a professional, and I feel
Professionals don't cry?
Well, no, this professional does.
Uh-huh. So does this one.
We're pretty real professionals. But I think, it's the learning experience for me also to be a professional as an advocate, because reality is that I am human, and Janice is human, and we all are human, and it's okay to cry. And I don't know, as I was saying, it's hard not to cry along with the mom sometimes. And, a lot of times you need to keep that role model of being strong rather than give that sympathy to the mama. Oh, I'm crying too, I'm sorry. But, you can show empathy in many other ways besides,
Okay, so there's a lot
crying
to
with.
learn,
Yes,
isn't
there
there,
is.
as an advocate?
It's almost like learning to be. You're definitely a counselor.
So
Definitely. You're definitely.
Sounds like it. Yeah, so I really want to thank the two of you for coming and giving us of your expertise. You're in a new profession. You're really pioneers doing things that nobody else has done, and I just so appreciate that you're there and that I now know and have your phone numbers, because I have clients coming in all the time that need you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for inviting us to come.
Yeah, and so at this time, I want to also acknowledge our growing number of volunteers that have so graciously and earnestly committed themselves to bring you this program. First, there's Steve Balog, who is a transportation professional who's learning to keep action callers on the airwaves, and he's just a busy beaver putting the show on and making sure that I'm on time and doing all the things I need to do. And also Michael Geller is a workers' comp attorney here in Sacramento who is also helps on the show. Third is our telephone greeter, Diane Matar, who has recently returned from volunteering her many skills in far-off India. For now, we'll see you and maybe hear from you next week.